What's up, guys? Crusader Kid here, and today we're going to be talking about Hashirama and his healing ability and how it works and what it kind of is. Now, I've looked up a lot of different things, just trying to figure out if I can find a video about how his powers work or how does like the healing capability came upon Hashirama. And to my surprise, there's really not that much information about it. It's kind of very vague, and we just know that if you have Hashirama cells, you basically have his healing power. So my first thing I thought was, if Hashirama has this great healing ability, why does it sound like his brother have something close or similar? You know, they're technically, they're brother. I mean, they're not technically, they are brothers. They should have really similar cells that are basically close. But you know, Tobirama doesn't have that. And Hashirama and Tobirama are both Senjus with high amounts of chakra reserve. But people like to say that Hashirama's, healing is partly because of his chakra, but so does Tobirama, and yes, they have better healing than most people, but it's not the same thing. So this video, I kind of want to talk about what Hashirama's healing ability represents and what it actually is and what gives him that ability. To narrow down this list, I decided, well, what separates Hashirama from like the rest of the ninja in the Naruto world? And it's a lot, and if you watch the series, that should be no shock to you. He was the founder of the Hidden Leaf Village. He's also the first Hokage, one of the first ninja ever. Now, I think there's like 2 generations above him, so he wasn't like one of the actual first, but as far as like we know in the early Naruto world, he was one of the first. And he's also known for having his great wood style jutsu. He's also known for his great healing, huge amounts of chakra reserve. He's able to go into sage mode, and he's a senju, as I said earlier, which are all pretty impressive things that make him very a highly decorated ninja. He's very important to this plot and storyline. He's also a reincarnation of Ashura, which is also something we're talking about a little bit too. But yeah, Hashirama, let's say, is very special, especially in the Naruto universe and to his fan base. What I want to talk about now is how can we figure out like how he got his healing, because there's a lot of speculations and theories. I kind of just want to talk about what my theory is. Hashirama is known for quite a few things, like I said, about, founding the Hidden Leaf Village, being a Senju will be important, but like fighting the Hidden Leaf Village, being the first Hokage. As impressive as those are, they're really not like evidence of how he got his healing power, unless like the Hidden Leaf Village gave him power, being the first Hokage gave him a special ability, which is not true, so those don't really matter. What we have to work with was huge chakra reserves, / kind of senju, because those kind of would be the same principle. And then we have his wood style ability, and we have being like one of the earlier ninjas. And being one of the early ninjas kind of counts as like the founding the Leaf Village. It's not a very important fact. I mean, people can say, maybe he was like tougher or stronger because they were back then, but that's not really relevant to how he got his healing powers, because people like Tobirama, like his brother, should have it also. And plus, being a Senju isn't the cause because, his brother's also a Senju, and Tobirama never had anything like that kind of healing ability. So what we have left is being a reincarnation of Ashura. We have wood style, and I think that's all we really have to go with. Now, the Ashura theory is a pretty good one, but I have to disagree with it, because Naruto was also a reincarnation of him. But in order to get his chakra, he had to go to the Sage of Six path. And from what I can tell, I don't think there was anywhere that he ever actually talked to him. And so I can't really say that because of his chakra, he was able to do that. And plus, when Naruto was a kid, he did have like incredible healing powers, but that was usually attributed to the Nine Tails and not because of anything outside. I think people in the village would have figured out, hey, he has healing ability beyond that, and it's not doing the Nine Tails. I think he was under high surveillance, and they would have picked something like that up. Even when he ever got to his like teen years or like early adult, he really didn't have that much just because of that's just who he was. Like Hashirama did it just because he was Hashirama. He had the healing ability. And the next thing we have, which is the last thing we have, is wood style, which I definitely think is the reason why he has healing powers, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But if you think about it, everybody with Hashirama cells have 2 things. They have healing, and they also have the wood style. And also, I forgot to mention that Sage mode doesn't do it because, Naruto went Sage mode. And yes, he was stronger, more powerful, but that definitely he wasn't in Sage mode the whole time, so that wasn't it. But wood style and healing, I definitely think those 2 abilities are actually connected And that's why people with Hashirama cells are able to not only adapt with the body, but be able to use wood style in healing. I think that healing factor is the reason why people can inject themselves or give themselves Hashirama DNA, and it actually combines and connects to that great healing factor. It's able to adapt and bond with any new host, which is one like point to support this theory. Another example of this would be wood style being able to use for more things than just summoning wood, such as sending out flowers that permit like poisonous gases to hurt the enemies. Also being able to suppress the chakra of the nine-tailed beast. These are just a few more examples that wood style is just more than just summoning wood. But another thing is that I think the healing style, like what it's meant to be, was supposed to be a representation of the forest and the wood, because if you think about a forest, you think about like just reckless growing power, and that's basically Hashirama. It's just ongoing power, ever growing, and that's supposed to be what his healing power to me is what it represents. It represents like a forest keep constantly growing. Like if you cut in a tree, more trees will grow. Kind of that kind of theory. And like I said earlier, how he's able to adapt to anybody is kind of what I think is the reason why. Because without it, because if you think about like real life, yeah, you can like take parts of skin and they can combine, but sometimes they get rejected. Hashirama's DNA that I know of has never been really rejected before. It always just attaches on the host and just becomes a part of them. I think that's attributed to the healing factor that you get with it. And that's why I think, they're kind of connected. Because like, if you think about it, nobody else in the show has wood style. So I guess you can't really prove or disprove my theory, because if there was someone who naturally had wood style that didn't have Hashirama DNA, then you could like compare them. But since we really don't, that's what leads me to believe that maybe wood style and the healing are connected. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this with your friends. I mean, this is kind of a shorter one, and I was kind of hoping that it would be easier to digest and swallow. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.